right. Power of love keeps you home at night. Here we go. Don't need no money, don't need no fame, don't need no credit card to ride this train. It's fast and it's sudden and it's cruel sometimes, but it might just save your life.
Just save your life.
That's the power of a love.
Feel the love.
All right, let's bring it down nice and quiet. Let's bring it on down. Nice and quiet. That's perfect right there. Here we go. They say that all is fair in love, but you don't care, 'cause you know what to do when love gets hold of you. And with a little help from above, you feel the power of a love. Hey! You feel the power of love. Here we go, right now. Don't need no money, don't need no fame, don't need no credit card to ride this train. It's fast and it's sudden and it's cruel sometimes, but you don't feel nothing until you feel the power. You feel the power of love. Do you feel the power? Do you feel the power of love? Can you feel the power? You feel the power of love. You gotta feel the power. You feel the power of love. 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 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't need no money, don't need no fame, don't need no credit card to ride this train. It's and it's sudden and it's cruel sometimes, but it might just save your life.
Might just save your life.
That's the power of love. That's the power of a love. That's the power of a love. That's the power of love.
Austin Ray.
Thank you. Is this band amazing? Are they fantastic?
All right. Way to go,
Thank you so
Austin.
much. Oh, you were going to say, I'll be out front to talk about the tickets. I've got a card that has a code on it. So if you want to buy tickets to the show, it gives you $7.99 off the top of the ticket. And with that code, the church gets a portion of the proceeds. So
Yeah.
the card out front.
So good morning. You ready? I love coming back from vacation. You know, I had a couple weeks off. I guess Laura did a pretty good job, and everybody was really happy. I love that. I love kind of turning off for a while, but I love coming back in again, too, and I love seeing you here. So let's close our eyes. Take a deep breath in and exhale out. For those of you here for the very first time, this is where we go into our meditation portion of our service here. In our particular center, we want you to sit up straight, unfold your arms, unfold your legs. Instead of looking down, we want you to kind of look up into the horizon, knowing that something wonderful is happening in your life, that this is the opportunity for that to happen. Take another deep breath in. So I'll ask you to call forward in your mind things that are bothering you, things you feel like you need to fix. I'll say it, things that you're obsessing about that need to be fixed. And it's not enough that we turn the burner down underneath those things. We have to take the skillet off of the stove itself. And so this is our opportunity to do that, to surrender to something greater, knowing that we're going to have to ultimately do the work. We're going to co-create it. But for now, can't clearly see the answer. Cannot clearly see the answer when you're on the stove. Take another deep breath in. All to Spirit I surrender. All to Thee I freely give. I will always love and trust You, and in Your presence daily live. all to Spirit I surrender. All that's good is wholly mine. In your presence, in this oneness, through you I am power divine, and I surrender all. I surrender all to thee, my blessed Spirit. I surrender all.
Good morning, Center for Spiritual Living, Palm Desert. This is what I know, that there is only one power in this universe. It is all inclusive. And I recognize my connection with this power. The intuitive knowingness of life itself dwells within me. And in this knowing, this is my declaration. I move from a belief that all is good, that all is well. I move from belief to faith, of faith in spirit, of faith in life, of faith that claims and shows the good in all. So I change my thoughts. I change my beliefs to faith. And through prayer, I put my faith to action. Through the law, it creates as I deem truth. All inclusive. Everyone, everything, all life is a part of me, and I it. So as I change, everything changes. And in that, I am so very grateful for the truth that is within me, is a truth that is flowing away from me into all that come in contact. I am so very grateful for this teaching, for this knowing, for this faith, for this prayer, that I release it to the law of mind, knowing it is done perfectly and completely. And together we say, and so it is. Amen.
I surrender all. I surrender all to thee, my blessed Spirit. I surrender all. And I surrender all. I surrender all to thee, my blessed Spirit. I surrender all to thee, my blessed Spirit. I
I surrender all. Take a deep breath in. Please join me. I turns to me, sending out peace. I send my peace over the mountains. I send my peace over the sea. I send my peace into the heavens, and it returns to me. Send out love. Sing it out, please. I send my love. Come on. Love over the mountains. Send it out. Send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me, and it returns to me, and it returns to me, and it returns to me. things are gonna get easy. Ooh, child, things will get brighter. Child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will get brighter. I'd love for you to sing this with me. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will get brighter. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, brighter. Let's do it again. Here we go. Said, there's only one thing that needs to be healed, and that is the idea that we are somehow separate from God. The idea that we're separate from Source. But in the beginning, God created, and He created from itself. And so therefore, all of creation is the very substance of God. Therefore, I am a personalized portion of God itself. The only thing that needs to be healed is the idea that I'm somehow separate from God. And when we heal that, somehow, ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things are getting brighter. Gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will get brighter. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will get brighter.
Way to go, Austin.
Thank you. Weren't they great? Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay, so the month of February, by the way, I heard Reverend Laura did a great job last couple weeks, so thank you, Reverend Laura and Dale and everybody for filling in. So the whole month of February, we've been talking about self-awareness is not enough. It's not enough to be self-aware. It requires self-awareness and action. Requires you to do something. So today, my talk title is Belief, Faith, and Prayer. I like my affirmation statement. You ready for this? Are you ready? Here we go. Go for it. Ready? See it, say it, fix it, and move on. Hey. That's the last part. Hey. Right? See it, say it, fix it, and move on. Does it see it, say it, dwell on it? No, it doesn't. Does it see it, say it, sit in it for a while? No. Does it say see it, say it, email all your friends and tell them all about it? No. What does it say? Fix it and move on. That's the problem we have, and sometimes we want to sit in things and talk about it all the time. No. How are we going to fix this? So today we're going to talk about that, the methodology we get there. Mistakes are a fact of life. It is the response to the error that counts. Those who aren't making mistakes probably aren't making anything. In our humanity, hey, look, in our humanity, you make mistakes. If you spend your whole life trying to avoid mistakes, you're going to spend your whole life doing absolutely nothing. Because guess what? We're human beings. We're going to make mistakes. Anybody paying a lawyer for the mistakes they made? Right? Anybody ever do that? You know, or a court of law, or, you know, your ex, or whatever it is. We all have made mistakes in our life. You know, it's how we respond to the error. That's what counts. You're going to make them. No one's perfect. As much as we want to think we're perfect, we can't be perfect. We're going to make mistakes, right? All right. See it. In Psalms we read, open my eyes so I can truly see the marvelous things in your law. I like that. Now, when you talk about see it, I want you to see, okay, close your eyes right now and then come up with the top 10 list of things that are messed up in your life. Go. Right? 1, 2, 3, 18, 49, 57. Can't even limit it to 10, right? When I say see it, I'm one firm believer that you have to look at it square in the eye. You don't run away from it. You don't pretend it doesn't exist. You have to look at it square in the eye. But when you look at it square in the eye and you talk about it, you also are affirming and seeing that through the universe's law of good, wonderful things can and will happen. That this is part of the process. Us seeing it indicates to the universe that we see the imbalance. Recognize the imbalance. I didn't say stay with it. I didn't say dwell on it. I said see it. As soon as we see something that's out of balance with the universe already knows how to balance it right back into its perfect order. We have to remember that. So when we're seeing something, we have to know that we can open our eyes and also see that the universe is doing its part to go back and put us in that balanced state of order. Does that make sense? So when I say see it, I want you to look at your problem square on. Go ahead, take a look at the rough, right? I'm there, I know it. I know how you feel. But I also know that when I look at them, I also have to open up the door and know that there is a power for the universe working in this moment to create that balance force. Whenever we live in darkness or denial, we are blinded, or at any rate, things appear to have a veil over them. As soon as we start moving into that place of darkness, and I've been there, I think most people have been there at some point in their life. They move into a place of darkness and denial of the way things are. They can't. This can't possibly be my life. Anybody? Yeah. I said it yesterday. Now, I said it in a way that I really didn't mean it, but I mean, really, this is what my life has come to? Really? Anybody? Right? All right, good. 4. 6. Great. All right. Y'all just go home. When we get in that consciousness, what happens is like literally, it's like putting a black bubble over our entire existence and saying, universe, when I'm looking at it this way, there's no way the universe can break through that bubble and give me any answers. I've knocked it out. I've just said, no, I'm on a lockout. You can't get in because of that. So be aware of that. When you get into that dark place, when you go into that place where there's that darkness and you're starting to live in that place, oh my God, this can't possibly be my life. Just remember, all you've done is you've sealed shut all the possibilities of it getting better. Do I hear an amen? Amen. Thank you. When we see the meaning or the wisdom that comes from the experience, we begin to see that law of God unfolds perfectly. When we see the meaning and wisdom that comes from the experience, we begin to see that the law of God unfolds perfectly. Hindsight is what? 20/20, right? Why is it 20/20? Because you can look back and you can see where the wisdom of God was at work. When you're in it, you didn't see it, did you? When you're in it, you don't see 20/20. You're like going, oh my God, again, why me? But when you look back, when you know that wisdom comes from the experience, then I can look, if I know that wisdom comes from the experience, then I can look at the experience I'm having, knowing that someday I will be wise about this. There will be the wisdom. There will be whatever is necessary to look back and go, now I get it. So if you look at a situation with the idea and knowing that it is part of the experience, then you can embrace the experience. If you don't, then you resent the experience, you be hostile about the experience, you become angry about the experience, and then what happens? You continue to live the experience. You haven't opened the door for anything new to come in. Does that make sense? All right, together please. See it, say it, fix it, and move on. Hey. Really? I can't even get you to do that once? All right, we're moving on. If you make a mistake, acknowledge it quickly and openly. Oh my God, this is the hardest thing for me to do. If you make a mistake, admit it quickly and put it right out there. This is when I'm learning how to do this now. I mean, I'm 55 and I'm finally trying to figure this out because I've realized that in relationships, I don't care what kind of relationship I'm in, what kind of, whether it's a friendship, an intimate relationship, a focused working relationship, whatever that is, if I'm not honest and have integrity with my word and what's happened, then people can't trust me. So many times my ego says, don't admit that you're wrong. In fact, create an argument in your wrongness so it sounds right. Anyone married to that person? Anybody? Yeah. So I'm going to create an argument. Even though I'm wrong, I'm going to create an argument going, I'm not going to back down. Hell no. There'll be a price to pay. That's not going to work. You have a lack of integrity when you do that. When you make a mistake, admit it. I've been doing that a lot recently. Just, there it is. And I tell you what, after you swallow those first 100 swallows of vinegar, and your body gets used to it, and finally you realize, wait a minute, I can do this now. I can say, nope, you know what, I made a mistake, sorry. And the people around me are freaking out, who are you? Did you smoke something? Why are you so relaxed? They don't get it. Say it, speak the truth, not the condition. So when you see it, you then say it. What you say is not it, you're saying the healed condition of it. You're saying what you want it to look like, not what it looks like today. You envision what it looks like, and you speak it in those terms as if it has already been done now. Austin song, the last one he's saying, right now was what he was saying. Things are going to get better, but then at the very end he's saying, right now. When? Now. And so when I'm saying it that way, the universe can conspire to create it that way. When I say it, my life will get better when... I'm always putting but when I say my life will get better when such and such happens, I'm always putting my good out into the future, and the future never comes because I consistently push it out. Does that make sense? Yes. Don't always seek the right answer according to others. Articulate what you would like to hear from someone if you were in the same position. Stop trying to get right by consensus. You know what? Don't always seek the right answer according to other people. Stand in your own truth and say what's right for you. That can be a challenge sometimes because some people might think it's kind of hurtful the way you're saying something. So you have to learn to listen to people and speak to them in words that are gentle and loving, but still authentic on your part so that you maintain your integrity and your authenticity. Does that make sense? So I have to be able to lovingly say, yes, I want to do this, or no, I don't want to do this. I'm sorry, I'm not comfortable doing that. If you want to do it, go ahead. But, I'm not into this. But you have to be able to say it in such a way where it doesn't hurt the other person, where they don't feel like you're talking down to them, but you're actually empowering them to do their thing as well. Spiritual leadership is action, not position. Many times in life, we do not have the luxury of waiting around for others to lead. I experienced that this week. Spiritual leadership is not action, spiritual leadership is action, not leadership. While I was on vacation, I tried not to be a spiritual leader. Yeah, I failed. Because of who I am, so Trey and I, we stay at this resort every year, and we go before our cruise, and it's really great. The guys we meet there are the same people that come every year. And last year we were talking to this one guy. He was a doctor, a palliative care doctor, and he's very, very sweet and very nice. And I think we went out to dinner with him a couple times. And then Trey and I got back, and we went back to the resort, and we're sitting there, just he and I are talking, and there's this man next to me, and I don't recognize him at all. And suddenly, he speaks, and suddenly I'm like, oh, I recognize that voice. And it was a gentleman that we had met a year ago and really enjoyed his company. But now he was in the middle of stage 4 pancreatic cancer. And so he didn't have his hair. He had no hair on his body, and he just didn't look like he looked a year ago, right? And of course, I'm trying not to be a spiritual leader. And I'm trying to say, just chill out, Joe. And then there you are, called into spiritual leadership. So it's not a position. It was an opportunity for me to talk to him, and and he readily admitted. He said, I've got probably 2 months, 4 months tops. Imagine having that conversation. And of course, here I am thinking about, okay, what am I going to do for the rest of my life? Because I just retired from one job, and I'm like, okay, now what do I do? Right? And I'm sitting there lamenting that I don't have a job, that I don't have something else on the burner going on right now, that oh my God, what's my life purpose? What am I supposed to be doing? And I'm having that conversation with myself, and then this guy sits next to me. And then we're able to, it was amazing. We had this lovely conversation because I talked to him about meditation. And he was open to all of it. He's like, you know what, I'm so glad you were there for me. And, I always remember this conversation that we had, and I gave him some stuff to take home with him. And that was when your calling just shows up. Now, if I wasn't paying attention and doing what I do, I would never notice those things. But I was just calling into question, what am I going to do in my future? And it's like, boom, there it sat next to me. And it's called because once you're in that position, once you become your own spiritual leader, you're going to find yourself leading other people. It's not a position. It's just you can't wait around for other people to lead. Sometimes you have to take that role and do what's right spiritually. Now, that doesn't mean shoving it down their throats. It means gently allowing them to embrace the journey and embracing the journey with them. Does that make sense? Say it together, please. See it, say it, fix it, and move on. Fix it. Hey, oh, you did it. Oh, my God. Some of you did that. Wow. Back up, Holly. Back up. We'll do that again. Back up one more. Okay, here we go. Ready? Again. See it, say it, fix it, and move on. Hey. Oh, my God. Drag queens in the making. Okay. Life doesn't get better by chance, only by change. And all great changes are preceded by chaos. Not ooh, but you know why? Because in the middle of chaos, if you have something that's really bugging you, that's going on in your life, instead of going ooh, you can go, I understand that this is the precursor of my change. I have to sit next to this. I have to sit next to this and not condemn it. I have to embrace it and not be angry about it, because this is the precursor to this change. And the bigger the challenge, the more chaos, the greater the change. Again, we said it earlier, hindsight is 20/20. We look at the biggest things that have happened in our lives, thinking that at the time they're most devastating, and we look back at them and see the lesson that comes from them. So if we pair these two together and we allow the chaos to just be chaotic without being chaotic with it, but just allowing it to be there, we understand its purpose. There is a purpose behind the chaos and imbalances that we're experiencing. There is a purpose to those things, and that's to call us to a higher level of the higher playing field. Does that make sense? Yes. All right. And they don't, but back up one more. And they don't get better by chance. Chance is for the casino. And I take my chances there too, right? But chance is for the casino. It's cold in here now. William, can you turn the ceiling fans off? Please, thank you. Life doesn't get better by chance. You're not going to luck your way into your good. That's ignoring the whole idea of divine design and divine purposes. You're going to create it. You don't luck your way into anything. You show up and create the change. That's the way you know it's happening. If you think and you're waiting to luck your way into something, well, good luck. Because you're going to be waiting. And chance, who wants to take a chance when you can create by divine design? It's only as you learn about yourself that you may learn to create a life more to your liking. The deeper you get into this, in fact, someone shared with me on the way out. I said, I'll see you tomorrow in class. She said, you'll see me tomorrow in class, and you're going to see me every time you offer a class. And I said, really? I said, why is that? She says, because every time I come to class, I learn something about myself that I didn't know before. And every class that I go to, it keeps getting deeper and deeper and deeper. And I'm enjoying the journey. I'm thinking, now that is proof in and of itself that when you dive in, get ready, I'm diving in, the deeper you go, there's more to be seen, right? It's like you're a spiritual scuba diver. You know, as you begin to descend, you see a certain number of things. Then the lower you go, the more vibrant things become and more alive they become. So that's what happens to our own self. When we consciously use the principle of mind, instead of asking for something, we are accepting something. Let's unpack that statement one by one. When we consciously use the principle of mind, in other words, when we're constantly praying, and those of you who know how to pray, if you've done it in my workshop, if not, go on the website. There's a workshop on there. You can actually take it if you don't know how to pray. So when we consciously use that, instead of asking for something, we accept. We accept it. There's a different, in Scripture it says, ask and ye shall receive. I would say ask, accept, believe. Ask, accept, believe. Does that make sense? So we kind of ask for it in our mind, but when we do our work, our spiritual work, we don't ask for it in our spiritual work, we accept it as ours in that moment. William's prayer, so beautifully done today. He accepted things in his world. And he accepted them on behalf of all of us, right? So he accepted them. He didn't hope, he didn't wish, he didn't bargain or negotiate. It was accepted in the now. So that's what we do. Instead of hoping that something will happen, we are endeavoring to know that it has happened or is happening. That the actual thing that we're seeking is seeking us. Remember, that which you are seeking is seeking you now. Let me say that again. That which you are seeking, didn't mean to point. You are seeking, that which you are seeking is seeking you now. How does that feel? How does that sit? If you knew that, if you believe that to be true, wow, we would not need half the Valium that we get prescribed. Yeah? We wouldn't be so stressed out. If you knew that what you're seeking is now seeking you, there's going to be this moment when they meet. I can't tell you when that is. The universe can tell you. Don't put a date on it because the universe doesn't operate in dates, but it operates in images. So if you see that, it's going to unfold for you. This is a fine point of the science of mind, and we can't overlook it. Together, please. See it, say it, fix it, and move on. You guys are so sweet to do that for me. I know for some of you straight guys, you're like, really? Really? And I know the gay guys want to stand up and go, hey. You know? And the women are like, hey, this is fun. Thank you for indulging me in that. I know that that's sort of like kind of odd. All right. But you hired me to be odd. I'm sorry. That's what you... This is it. When fixing things, one needs a backbone instead of a wishbone. Ooh. Get a backbone. Not in a confrontational way. Get a spiritual backbone. Know that you know that you know, and when you walk in that knowing, then you know. And you'll feel good about it. You'll feel empowered by it. Don't wish something. Wishing is weak. Wishing is weak. It's good. I wish for, I don't mean to take the word down, right? But wishing is cheap. It's cheap. It's not what you want. You want knowing. So don't get a wishbone, get a backbone and know that, again, what you're seeking is seeking you. Move on. I love this. Move on. Don't sit and wallow in this. Whatever you sit and wallow in just magnifies. You know, while we were gone, several things happened in the world, and it was kind of nice to be disconnected for a couple weeks where we didn't have the news media, and you had to actively seek it out, and I didn't actively seek anything out, and there were some really lousy things that happened in the country while I was gone. But then there were also some amazing things that happened in the country while I was gone. And some of those amazing things I tried to focus on, like I was watching the Olympics, and I was watching these athletes, and I was watching what it felt like when after they were done with their whatever it was that they did, and I imagined what that felt like to be them in that moment. And you saw some of them break into tears, and I was bawling watching them. They weren't even crying. I was crying. I was crying for their success. And what it must feel like to see the beauty of that while it's happening simultaneously while other things are going on in the world. Don't just shift your focus on the things that aren't working. Make sure you have time, and plenty of time, more time, to focus on the things that are amazing. Because there's a lot of amazing things going on right now that we're ignoring because some things are on the burner, right? So make sure we take time to really, if I want to wallow in anything, if I'm going to take a bath in something, I want to take a bath in the success of watching those athletes do these incredible things. And yeah, there you go. It's amazing because it happens at the same time. Think for yourself. No one else is qualified to think for yourself. When you're moving on, think for yourself. Now, many times we want to get consensus from people, and I understand getting the data is important. When you're facing a medical situation, getting data is important. You want the data, right? But then there comes a point where the data has to be acted upon, and who's making you act on it? I want to say, make sure you stand in your intuition and your truth, and make sure you say what it is that you want done. Empower yourself to do that. Don't let other people decide your path, because then you're living their path. Get the data, you look at it, you figure it out, you ask the questions, and then you decide how you want to proceed with something. Now, whether that's a health condition or a financial condition or a relationship, it doesn't matter what it is. I would just say make sure that we always get the data that you're looking for, but beyond the data, you have to decide. You, as an individual, have to decide how you want to go forward. Mother Teresa said that, let no one ever come to you without leaving better. Yeah. You know, again, I tried not to be a spiritual leader out there on vacation, and I met so many wonderful people, and there was one in particular that was really moving through a challenge of a separated relationship, and I just had to tell them, I'm like, okay, we need to go look in the mirror. You know, let's go take some time and look in the mirror, because you need to know what you've done to yourself, and you need to look at yourself while you're taking responsibility for that. And so we went together, and he was looking in the mirror, and there was tears all over it. It was all great. It was very cathartic. And I thought, you know what? He's like, oh my God, I felt this is the best I felt in so long, because I was able to release some of this stuff. And that's what I'm talking about. You know, when someone comes into your presence, make sure they leave as a better person. It could be something as simple as, you know how sometimes I walk into the gas station, and I'm like, I walk up and I'm like, 20 on 4. You know what I mean? I just, hey, 20 on pump 4. I don't say hello. I don't say how's your day. Usually I'm like, okay, I gotta take time to get gas. 20 on 4. Right? Anybody? You know? What if we engaged in making sure that we made eye contact with people, and that we tell them we appreciate them, and thank you so much for putting that, you know, doing whatever you're doing, I really appreciate it. What if we just said something that empowered even the simplest things in our day? Imagine how that could shift an energy if we did it with everyone, that we made an effort to everyone we come in contact, had them feel a little bit better because we came in. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to sit down and counsel everybody for 30 minutes. Hey, Dr. Joe said, go look in the mirror. Try it, works. But I'm telling you, this is a really great thing. Make sure people leave feeling better because they saw you. Don't become a non-event or a negative event to them. Become something positive. Speaking of which, tomorrow I'm going to let no one about the forgiveness component of this statement works wonders. Tomorrow I'm going to be teaching a class, and normally I don't let people drop in my Beyond Limits class, but tomorrow I'm teaching the curriculum is all about forgiveness. And while you won't be able to participate in some of the dyad, triad stuff that we're doing, or to some of the discussion, I won't put you in the position to do that. But I all think that we can all have a lesson about forgiveness for ourselves and for other people. And so I'm going to make that available to you tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning or at 6 o'clock tomorrow night. Come in and just listen to the lecture about forgiveness, because many times we just need to be reminded about what forgiveness is so that we can become that better person and be better for other people. Does that make sense? So do that tomorrow night. So tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock or 6 o'clock tomorrow night, love offering, just show up. I want you to learn a little bit more about forgiveness, especially if you have some angst going on. If you're truly committed and are working on something you really care about, you don't have to be pushed. The vision pulls you. If you find yourself pushing all the time, if you wake up and go, how many times have you had that wake up where you go, I dread doing, I do this. It happens to me in the gym every day, though. So I need to change that. Personal moment. You just shared with me a personal moment. Anyway, but if you have a vision that pulls you, when you wake up, you're like, boom, I got to go. It feels good. I don't care if you have a vision of just cooking a meal and you go to the grocery store. You're not dreading it. You're like excited to get the different things that are going to go into it, right? You know, or if you're doing a financial transaction, you're excited about a business that you're embarking on or investing in or whatever that is. There's an excitement. It pulls you. It pulls you. You don't have to push it. Remember, if you're pushing too hard, you've got to back up a little bit and see what's really pulling you to do that. All right? What's pushing you to do that? Abraham Lincoln said this, determine that things can and shall be done, and they shall find the way. What a great metaphysician he was, right? Determine that things can and shall be done, and the universe will give you the methodology of which you need to get there. You don't have to have all the answers. You just have to have the desire. Let the universe fill in the how. You don't need to know the how. You need to know what step to take next. That's all you need to know. What is the next thing I have to do? So many people dream these big dreams and they never act upon them because they know what to do first, but they don't know what to do second, third, and fourth, so they don't even take the first step. They just hold on to it. I would highly encourage you, if you ever felt like that, go out and do that first thing and know that the universe is also conspiring to create your second, third, and fourth steps, just for you, all right? Finally, we are truly not creatures of circumstance. We are creators of circumstance. You are not a victim of circumstance. If you believe you are a victim of circumstance, then guess what? From now on, you will be. If that may not be that you haven't had something in your life happen that was beyond your control, right? But it does mean that you don't have to hang on to the title of victim of circumstance. As soon as you hold on to the title, you become the reigning queen and king of that circumstance, and the universe will create opportunities for you to walk down the runway and claim your victimness. And it will continue to throw opportunities to you in situations where you will again continue to carry the crown. What good is that? No, we are creators of circumstance. We are creators of our effects. So we are creating our effects. You're creating your next effect right now in your mind. You're just, everything little processing from this day is creating your next effect. So don't become a creature of circumstance, become a creator of your life circumstances. Finally, last time, with the zest and enthusiasm. Ready? See it, say it, fix it, and move on. Hey, and so it is.
Wow. Whew, we're so glad he's back. Oh my God. Whew. Okay, so we call this next part of our service the offertory, but I want to call it gratitude, because I am so grateful I am here and that I just was exposed to such amazing inspiration, and that I'm here with all of you to just know the truth about us, that magnificence, that divinity that lies within us, and that we're reminded here and only here of that, and how grateful we are that we have this container where truth is spoken and revealed, and we can be who we are and take that out in the world. So, on that note, if you felt touched by anything at our service today, I ask you just to go ahead and put that on your heart, whatever that is, whether it's a check, whether it's just your hand and your love, whatever. And just know with me that the law of reciprocity is always happening, and when we give, we receive. When we receive, we give, and how wonderful it is that God has blessed us with this divine action. And so I'll ask the ushers to come forward with their baskets. You can text your tithe if you like. And we are very grateful for what you give to us because it allows us to do what we do here every single week and to have classes and to be able to do the online services. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, let us say our prayer together. I give my offering with gratitude as I recognize the demonstration of Spirit's generosity in all areas of my life.
With a grateful heart, I behold your goodness. With a grateful heart, I receive my good. Let us celebrate what the Lord hath made. My abundance starts with a grateful heart. Hallelujah, 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 a grateful heart. Hallelujah, 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 a grateful heart. With a faithful heart, I declare my blessing. With a faithful heart, I'm forever blessed. If I just believe, then I shall receive. My abundance starts with a faithful heart. Hallelujah, 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 a faithful heart. Hallelujah, 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 a faithful heart. With a giving heart, I'm a demonstration. With a giving heart, I am living proof. All that I provide will be multiplied. My abundance starts with a giving heart. Hallelujah, 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 a giving heart. Hallelujah, 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 a giving heart. Hallelujah, 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 a grateful heart. Hallelujah, 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 a grateful heart.
That was the most energetic offertory I think I've ever experienced in my life. Okay, so thank you for all you've given. Let us say our prayer together. This collective offering is Spirit in action. As it circulates into the universe, it touches and blesses many lives, including my own. Thank you, Steve. All right. If there's anybody that's here for the very first time today, we invite you to stand up so that we can find you and give you a gift. You don't have to speak. You just need to stand up. There we go. Thank you. In the CD case that you've been given, there's some information about our center, and if you go to the desk that's in the foyer, we'll give you a CD of one of Dr. Joe's talks, and we invite you to just come back. This is a great place, yeah, and it's always like this, so we would love for you to come back, and if you're just visiting from out of town, you can live stream us, so you can always be a part of this community if you enjoyed our service, so we welcome you. Following services, we have our practitioners over in the Om Room for 1-minute miracles. So if you're going through a challenge or there's just something good that's starting to sprout up in your life, and you want to give it a little push through some prayer, they're over there to pray for anything that you would like prayer for, and that's over there. And this is our schedule for the week. We've got a lot, as you can see. There's yoga, there's exercise, there's classes, Soul Sisters, our Wednesday service, and we've also got Dr. Joe tomorrow. As he said, you're going to want to hear about forgiveness through his eyes and through what he knows, because it'll change your life, certainly will. Okay, that's it. Lots of gratitude now for everybody. I want to thank the band, Jerry Lynn, and all our wonderful people that are in it. And Austin, who is outside there, he did such a great job. He's outside to give you tickets if you want to go to his show. And I want to thank the guys in the back and Holly, who make everything run and do it so beautifully and seamlessly. Thank you. Thank you. And Julie and Elizabeth and Steve, who also invisibly make this whole place run so smoothly. We're grateful for them, and we're grateful for all of you for being here, because we can't do this without you. And we love to share spirit together, because spiritual community is so vitally important, and we're grateful that we all have each other. Also want to thank the practitioners and ministers who do so much prayer work for you. You don't even know. You don't even know what they're doing for you. And of course, Dr. Joe, the most wonderful spiritual leader I know. I'm so grateful for him and grateful for what he provides for us to do and how he leads us so perfectly. And Reverend Laura as well. She is just dynamite. So we've got such a great team here, and I want to thank you for being a part of it. So without further ado, sign-ups for all that stuff on the patio. Don't forget to stop by there if you're interested in a class or membership Sunday, all that stuff. We need you to sign up. And now I'm going to do what I love to do, and that's pray. So please close your eyes. The easy part. Close your eyes and please join me in consciousness. Oh, wow. As we just dive deep within our souls and connect with God, Spirit, our higher power, whatever we call it, knowing that there is only one creator, and that is Spirit. And we live in Spirit, and Spirit lives in us. And we forever play in an infinite field of divine right action and order. And as we believe in that and see it and call it into our lives, we are able to create a wonderful life for ourselves, knowing that Spirit is active, never stagnant. And so anything we bump into in life, through our belief, through our faith, we can dissolve it and come back into perfect balance, ease, grace, through our word, through our thought, through our belief, and God. And so I am grateful to see that we are creating a better life for ourselves and the world by trusting in God and trusting in ourselves, that we know how to do this thing called life, and we know how to do it very well by going to Spirit first and foremost to create this wonderful experience. We have been blessed to live in this time and space. And so I am just grateful for all the goodness that is pouring into our lives this week as we just open ourselves up to that flow of the divine and just let it show up in our lives in so many amazing ways, knowing that there is no limited to the power of God. And so with so much love and gratitude in my heart and soul for this spiritual community that is so powerful, so positive, and so alive, and knowing that all is unfolding in its divine right and perfect way because the universe is an orderly place, and our lives too reflect that. And so knowing this is complete, I release my word to that perfect law of mind, knowing it is done, as we say together, and so it is. Amen. Have a wonderful week.